So this is a report for our Forex trades. So last week you had 31 signals, 530 loss, 1,380 pips in profit, and not in a net profit of 800 pips. Let's look at the one for crypto. So crypto, I think this is like the worst week, but it's really good. This is some people's like monthly or yearly profit, but what made 25%. The other week was 30 something percent. The other week was 40%. But last week was just 25%. Only two losses, 10 signals, only two losses. And this is a possibility. And you guys know that we are starting our challenge today. Have you gotten in $10,000 to Christmas? If you haven't, there's a link in the description. Get into the group, our crypto group. When you get into the group, just go ahead and fill the form there to gain access to it. I'm holding a class today to talk about within Telegram to talk about how it's going to go, the compounding and all. So make sure that you're ready for it. Anyways, we haven't done our usual tradition when we hold lives like this. So in the comment section, the mouse. In the comment section, go there now. Tell me where you are attending this live from. I am in Lagos, Nigeria. I just want the city and the country. Let me know where you are tuning in from. All right. Okay, you say you filled the form, you haven't gotten access. Don't worry, you'll be attending to. So the way we did this, we didn't use a bot this time. We didn't use a bot this time, so it requires manual adding, and Telegram kind of restricted it. So use another account to do that, and probably just stay within Telegram. You are going to see information on how to get in. So good morning. Oh, I can see Labor Love, Lagos, Nigeria. I see you. We have from Ekiti. Didn't get your name. Niger Force Chidozie from Ekiti in Ekiti. Wealth with Maza, South Africa. They'll have Olaju Wokin in Kwara. From sorry, I'm finding it difficult to call the names today. Marpo Mafoko, South Africa. Nasarawa, Nigeria. Ado Ekiti. Is there a Forex group? Yes, there is a Forex channel. To gain access to it, you have to go to the crypto group. Everything, the crypto group is the starting point, right? From the crypto group, you will see like weekly, you should see a report today and instructions how to get access to the Forex group. Trillion, Lagos, Nigeria. We have Kerala from India. Another question is, good morning. I'm viewing from Owerri. Okay, you fill the form, message Francis, but so he's going to respond to you. Don't worry, he's going to respond. I would try to make sure he gets everybody in today because I'm holding a live class on Telegram today just to show everything. So, but just to make sure that you meet all the requirements. The requirement is creating with the right link and making sure you make the required deposit into your account. That is the only criteria to get into scope. If you meet that, it's going to add you. He rejects some people just based or doesn't contact you if you don't meet the requirements, but it's going to get to it. Zuma from South Africa, I see you. So welcome. There are lots of people online. Sorry, I can't call everybody. You are welcome. So we'll get into the chats, and I want us to end this just in 1 hour. 7:30, we are done. So today, I won't be analyzing a lot of the forex pairs and cryptocurrency like I used to do. I'm just going to go ahead and and analyze just four or maybe five Euro USD, GBP USD, GBP JPY, then Bitcoin and Ethereum. That is what I'll be analyzing today. So once again, welcome to the live. Let's get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Oh, so starting, okay, this is BTC. You can see that I'm already in this trade. It's going just as expected. This is not, this a risk entry. Last week was pretty good. Okay, this was the final target for this particular trade. This is Euro USD. This one was a pretty good trade. This one too, a very good trade, but I exited on Friday. So a nice, it was around here. No, this is actually wrong. It started from here, from this point. I did this analysis on Discord. This is a nice 4.82 risk reward. This one is 3.83. Very profitable trades. GU, I didn't take, my entry wasn't hit. So I was expecting it to move down from here and enter here. But it didn't come to my entry. That is for GU. Let's go to, now let me just move this one. For GBP, I didn't also get an entry. It went the way we expected to go, but I didn't quite get an entry for this particular trade. This was a very good entry here. I saw this, but I just didn't take the trade. Okay, because it was almost at the end of my trading day on Friday. But it went just the way we wanted it to go. And when I have BTC, let me check Ethereum. So had a drop on in Ethereum here. This I didn't enter, even though I was expecting this movement. Again, I don't trade during the week ends. All right, so let's go through let's go through the normal weekly analysis. I'm going to clear all of this and we just start afresh. Okay, starting from the weekly time frame. We go back to this and clear some of this. Let's remove this, this, and this. If you attend my live long enough, you actually get what I do. It's simple. I have someone that told me one day, man, that he tried the analysis by himself and he was able to get it. And when he watched the video, he was like, oh, I did the same thing. So it's anybody can do this. You just have to stay put and and look at what I'm doing. The new program will be live soon. I have been working on it. I should be done by Wednesday. The new program, if you want to take the course, it's going to be live pretty soon. So starting from the weekly time frame on EU. So this is what we did last week. We expect to have it. We expect to have. We expect to see euro at one point get to 1.2. We expect the euro to gain value against the dollar to get to 1.2. We still have a fair value gap here. I'm waiting for it to fill. But before then, we're looking forward to see a retracement from this bottom here, a retracement down this way and up. So my weekly range, I'm going to maintain the last weekly range that I have for last week, which is this this one here. Let me call it weekly range. Let me just put a W on it. Center, right. Put a W on it and do the same thing here. Center, right. So this is a week. My target for this is just the weekly range. Okay, but you can see that it's not making sense from here. So we're going to go to the daily time frame for it to make some sense. So this is what we're doing. Okay. Now, what I'm looking forward to seeing is, let me remove this, is to see a bounce from here, to see a bounce from this point, then we can go high. That is what I'm looking to see. Now, this bounce can happen either we see this come down from here, and we'll have that bounce from here, then we'll go up. Or we go up first, okay? We go up first from here, hit this point, then come down here and go up. That is what I'm looking at right now. Either of this can be a possibility. Now, if you look at this, we had a break of structure here, okay? We retraced into this zone, we started coming down, but for some reason, we didn't come down all the way to this particular point. We just took this other block here, this demand zone here, and we pushed higher from this particular point. Now, until we see this particular high, because this is the movement downwards. This is the movement downwards here. This is the high that led to this particular low. Okay, so this might just be a consolidation until we see this taking out. If this is taking out, that is when I know that we can start going higher. If this top here is taking out, that's when I'm sure we can start going higher. But if it's not taking out, we can still come lower to go higher from here. Hope that makes sense. Again, if you're attending for the first time, you're not getting it. The more you attend, the more you get this. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing on this particular time frame. The possibility is that we go down from here. We enter here and we go down from here and we go up. Okay. Now, if we break through, because if you look at this region, it's all efficient. It's all efficient. So if we break through, above this, then we can just go like this. We might not come down to this particular level. So that's what I'm seeing on the daily time frame. Now let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour, what are we seeing? This is a trade. We've tapped into this point, and this is where we have a supply zone. So what am I saying? I'm saying that, and we are currently in an efficient zone. If I go down lower, I'll know if this is efficient on the smaller time frame. So we are in this region. Okay, this is an efficient region. All right, this was efficient. So the next inefficiency we have is here, which gives us the supply zone, meaning that we can go this high. Now I'm seeing an inefficiency, so we can do like this, go higher, then come down, then go high from here. Okay. Now before I go forward, I just realized I haven't checked Forex Factory. It's very important we look at what news can affect the market this particular week. So for today, checking Forex Factory, we have news by 4 p.m. Nigerian time. That is GMT plus 1. So if you're in a trade by 4 p.m. GMT plus 1, you might consider getting out of that trade, especially if it's a US dollar pair. There's also a high impact news for Japanese pair. This is coming out. Okay, this has already happened, so you don't have any issues trading. So the only thing you should be aware of is the US dollar pair by 4 p.m. GMT plus 1. On Forex Streets, for FX Streets basically shows us what is going to happen that particular week. So on today being Monday, it is today being Monday, we have high impact news by Fed chair, Fed chair, Fed chair poet speech. Then of course the 1 by 4. So you have 1 by. So FX Street actually shows more details and shows more news. So it's a possible news by 2 and another one by 4 p.m. On Tuesday, we don't have any news that is going to affect the market in the dollar market, but euro has a high impact news. So anyway, this is what we have. Let's just go straight to. So I should only be concerned about the US dollar by 4 p.m. Okay, back to here. So you can see this is the possibility. Now I'm going to remove this and mark out some zone. Now this is on the 4 hours. This is a 4-hour demand zone. Now we have this one has been taken. This demand zone has been taken, so I can remove this. Okay. Now what do we have? We have broken into an efficient zone here. Okay. So which means that we can have a retracement into this zone, then into here, then into here, and we go higher. Hope this makes sense. So this is what I'm seeing on the 4-hour time frame. I'll move lower to the 1 hour to look for to see what can possibly happen. Now on the 1 hour, we can see another. This is a demand zone, a supply zone here. But if you look at this supply zone, you will see that above it we have, yes, we have a wick here, but I just see this. I see this as they are relatively equal high. So this might just be an inducement. Inducement basically trick traders to enter the trade. So I see this as an inducement. So I see that this might likely break. So I'm gonna change this to liquidity. Okay, so I believe this will not be respected. This demand zone we have here is not going to be respected. We might have something like this, tap into it and do as if it's going to come down, then breaks it. This is the one I feel that is going to be respected. But I'm not going to be bothered with this for now because we're not even there yet. So what do we have? So what do we have? Again, let's look at this again. We have a this looks quite efficient in this time zone. So I'm sticking with this. Okay, I'm sticking with movement downwards to this point, then we'll move up. Or we can actually have this. Okay, let me remove this. We can actually have this. We can have a movement to this point, then we'll come down this way and this way. Then here, then going good, and we'll go higher. This is another possibility. But we're getting closer to where we should start considering a trade. All right. Now, we had a breakout structure here which informed our entry at this particular point. Again, we are in an efficient zone and we're making almost equal highs at this point, which is this almost an equal high, which is sort of a liquidity zone. So I'm going to mark this as liquidity as well. Go ahead and call this liquidity. So what do we do? It's time to start looking for a trade. Now, from here, okay, we don't have a clear breakout structure high. If we had it here, then I'll be happy to look toward here breaking. If this point breaks, then I'm going to look for entries this way to go lower, then go higher. Okay, but we don't have that here. The last high we have in this upward movement, this is the last high here. This is the low that led to that high. Beside it, this low has not made a new high. You can see that it's just a sweep. It hasn't made a new high. So therefore, to go lower, this is the point I want to see broken. So this is not giving a very good opportunity to trade. Okay, it's not giving us a clean setup to trade. So before we can go lower, this is what I will be looking at. All right, unless I wait for, maybe we'll see more price action and this goes higher, then I want to see it break, then I can trade this market lower, entering here. But as it is set up now, I'm not seeing anything. The only thing I'm seeing now is not going to play out pretty soon, which is this: a long position from this point, okay, target the low and going to the high. The risk to reward ratio is not that fantastic as well, but this is what I'm looking at this very point. Now, let's go down to the 30 minutes time frame to see what we can trade. Yeah, I'm going to remove this as well. I'm going to refine this on the 30 minutes. This is the refinement. Okay. So this becomes a 4.59 trade. So I have equal high liquidity. So from here, it's a waiting game for me, basically, from this particular point. It's a waiting game for me. So if you have extra push above, either from here, then I want to short to this particular point. So as it is now, I cannot do any other thing. I don't know. I can't take a trade until I see some structure from here. Let me reiterate what I mean. So if I see a push higher, then I'm going to mark here. If this comes down this way, I want to take a short position to this point. Then I'll take a long position to this point. Okay? Now, let me clean this. If this goes higher and hits this point, I'll still want to look for, if it gives me market structure, let's say it did this, hit this point, and I want to look for confirmation entry to short it to this point. Then I'll now go back in to a higher time frame to see what was my initial plan. The initial plan is that we go higher from here, and hit here, and go higher from here. That is what I'm looking at for this. So it's just a waiting game from here. So this is that. This is it on Euro USD. Let's now go straight to GBP USD. Again, I'm going to clean this out. This was the entry I was looking for last week, but I didn't get it. Okay, it didn't come down to my entry last week. Oh, I'm just going to leave it. So I'm just going to leave this. So let's start again from the weekly time frame because we are at the beginning of the week. So weekly time frame, I'm still sticking with this entry here, downwards to this point and higher. I'm still sticking with this weekly. I'm still sticking with this. I still think it's going to play out this particular way. Again, from here, we go high From this point, we go higher, then lower, and higher. I'm still sticking with this. Okay, now daily time frame. On the daily, are we seeing anything different? Yep. I'm still going with that. On the daily, we can see some efficient region here. I think it's gonna be difficult to break into this efficient region. But if you break into it, then I'm gonna start considering this particular high that we have here. But as it stands now, I think I don't need to mark this because we are quite still far away from here. But if we enter this region, this if we don't respect this, I will enter into this region, then this will be my next target. That said, let's go down to 4 hours to make sense of this. Okay, let me go back to daily a bit. Okay, go back to the 4 hours. So in the 4 hours, I still have this zone. I can, reduce it this way. So this is zone we have on the 4 hours, and pretty efficient. We have broken structure here. You can see that here. Even broken another structure here. It's a break of structure, so I can remove this one actually and call this one break of structure. All right. So I think I'm still sticking with this. So I believe we are going to go lower to this point and we go higher. So with that, I'm going to go to the 1 hour time frame to make sense of this. Okay, 1 hour time frame. It's pretty efficient here. I think this should be on a lower time frame that I got this from. So what can I look for? We have on this, I want to remove this. So we have here on the 1 hour, we have above here, we have a supply zone above here. And if you look at the supply zone, you can see that this a relatively equal high. It's not a perfect equal high, but it's relatively equal. So, which means it is what? It's liquidity waiting to be taken. So, what do I see? I see the possibility of going short from this region. I'm gonna reduce this. I'm still looking for a long position from here, but the possibility I see here is possibility of a short position from this point this way, okay, down to this region. It's a 7.47 risk reward ratio. Now let's go down to the 30 minutes and start making sense of it. Okay, so in 30 minutes, I'm still sticking with this. We can even refine further to this point. Refine further to this point in 30 minutes. So I'm still sticking with this on the 30 minutes. Liquidity, supply zone. So possible movement again is that we go down from here. From here. Now let's go down to 15 minutes. So 15 minutes, okay, still aligns well. It still aligns pretty well. And from here is where I want to go long from now. So from here we have a long position from here. Then it'll be above here. You have to go down low to look at the market structure. So it's to this point we'll now be targeting. There'll be ample opportunities to enter after here. A lot of opportunities to enter the market here. So this is what I'm looking at for GU. I don't know if this will play out today because the market is still quite choppy around here. Still quite choppy. So if I see a proper break, then we can go down from this region. Hope this is clear. Now again, this might not happen today, but it just gives you a great sense of where you can start looking for trades for GU. Let's go to GJ. I tell you, this pair has made me good amount of money. This particular GJ. So EU and GJ remains my favorite pair because I make a lot of winnings from them. Again, I didn't take this particular trade, but it would have been a very good trade. I didn't take this particular one, but this is a very good trade. You can see it was really profitable if I had taken it. But I drew it. You can see that I marked it out here that if you have a break of structure to the downside, breaking this line, a retracement upward should bring us down. And that is exactly what happened. Okay. And I was expecting that from this point, we can go higher. But of course, I have to look for a confirmation entry from this point now. Let's go to the higher time frame and come down from there. I'm going to clean all this out. Okay. We'll start again from the weekly time frame for GJ. Weekly time frame. What do we have? I'm going to remove this. Okay. I'm not seeing much from the weekly time frame. We've had um we might have a strong movement downwards. So what I'm saying is that if you look at here, it's an aggressive move downwards from this high. It means that there are a lot of sellers here that push this down. And you can see that this price action here from this point, the price action from here to this movement downward took 21 days, right? Okay, that is 28 days. And for us to see a the recovery that is taking us back to that point is taking has taken 483 days. Okay, so it means that what the sellers did in 28 days is what is being undone in 483 days. What this simply means is that we have a strong amount of sellers here. So this we might see a big drop from here. The only problem I have with this is that this drop didn't really break structure to the downside, but it's a big drop. So we should expect a big drop from here as well, all things being equal. So with this, I have a strong disposition that we can see a drop from here once we tap into this particular zone. Let's go down to the daily and start seeing it make sense. Of course, we want a confirmation that we are coming down. So I still believe that we might see an extra push into this zone before it start breaking down, or we might not see. Okay, but once I see a confirmation entry, I'm going to start taking short position from here. Let me go back here and see. We still have a gap here, not filled, a daily demand zone here. This one, I'm going to remove it. With that, we're going straight to the 4-hour time frame to see if we can start making sense of this. I'm going to go back here to see. I want to know where I marked this from because I didn't label it. Okay, so this is my 4-hour demand zone. So I'm going to label this so that it makes sense. This is a 4-hour supply zone rather. A 4-hour supply zone. So at least I know that this is on the 4 hours. Now, what do we have here? Still, if you look at this is actually a break of structure here. Okay, on the 4 hour. This is a break of structure. And when you see break of structure to the higher side, it tells you that, okay, since we broke structure this way, we should retrace and go higher. Again, this is where I'm expecting a drawdown from. So this is what this is telling me on the 4 hour. And if I'm meant to mark out a demand zone here, it is this. It is pretty large. And if you look at this region, we're having a lot of efficiencies. These are all efficient to these zones. So I feel that whenever when we finally get that particular structural move here, we should have a very sweet movement down to this particular point. So if you can carry this trade here, it's a lot of profit from here. Okay, so let's go down to the 1 hour and see if we can refine some of the entries we have here. So right here, the 4 hour gap is still being maintained in the 1 hour. Nothing new has happened. This is the demand zone. Probably before we take this trade, we should be looking forward to a confirmation entry this way. So this would be the entry in taking this particular trade. Here will be the entry. So to investigate further, let's now go down to 30 minutes. Now, let me remove this so it start making sense. So this is this. Okay, refine to this point. Now, if you look at this bottom here, the bottom, I'm gonna place an alert here. If I see now, this is what I'm expecting to happen. This particular move, I want this move to happen for me to take a long position. But if I see this come down this way and breaks below this particular line with a candle body closure, then my orientation changes. It means that I will now want to go short. Does that make sense? If I see this particular pattern you see here, I want to go long. Okay? If I see this pattern, then I want to go short. Hope this makes sense. Right? Now let's go to 15 minutes time frame. 15 minutes time frame. What do we have? Okay, some people are asking questions about weeks and the rest. I will answer some questions after I'm done with this before we get to crypto. Okay, so this means I want to go short. This means I want to go long, depending on what I see. As it stands now, I'm not seeing any pattern forming here to help me with that particular decision. But what trade can I take on the short term here? So this one, I want to go lower now. I don't usually go this low. I want to go lower. This 10 minutes, this is 5 minutes. So what trade can I take from this particular point? If you look at this price action here, we have, this is the high. This particular high that we see here is the high that led to this low. So we had this market moving down this way, make this go lower. We'll have some action here. Now, if I see this high taken out, then I can trade higher to this point. Okay? Because the market can keep on going higher from here, or it comes down here, then we are now bearish. But if it takes out this, then I know that I'm now bullish. All right. I'm gonna go with the original direction. Let me say this again. Okay, this is on the 5 minutes time frame. Sometimes if you don't see trade on a 15 minutes, you can go lower to take trades. The chart, the market is fractal. So whatever happened on the high time frame, you can see similar patterns on the lower time frame and take trades here. So let me repeat what I'm saying. Now, in this movement downwards, we have this, a high, low, high, low, high, low. This is the last high we had before this low. This is the last low. Everything happening here is a consolidation. We don't have a new structure broken. Now, if the market breaks above this line, then I want to look for an order block here. Right now, I'm not seeing any other block. This is the last order block. Mind you, I call demand and supply on order blocks. So I want to look for an order block. If the market breaks above this, I want to look for a demand zone here that I will enter and go higher. And my target is going to be here. Okay. Why is it here? Because this is a supply zone. And I don't know if this supply zone will be respected and will go lower, or it's going to be invalidated and will go higher. If it is invalidated and will go higher and break this high, then that's when I'm going to zoom in and go with this particular structure, because I know we're going higher. But if it's respected and go lower, then I'm going to go with this particular structure here. I'm going to go short. Hope this makes sense. So this is my three analysis for Forex. I've analyzed Euro USD, showed you what I'm looking at. Analyzed GBP USD, show you what I'm looking at. I've analyzed GBP JPY and show you what I'm looking at. Now let me take some few questions before we get into crypto. Okay, somebody asks, okay, I've not been added to the December trade competition. Now, again, I said, one, have you met the criteria? The criteria is simply sign up with the required link and made the required deposit into your account. If you have done that, then just wait. We didn't use an automated system to do this, and we're having some restriction by Telegram in adding. Okay, we use another account to add some people, and also be in the group, this particular crypto group. Just make sure you are there, because I might drop information today to get added. If you're not being added, again, you must meet the criteria. If you don't meet the criteria, you won't be added. If you have met the criteria and you're not being added, just be patient. You're going to be added. Okay, somebody asks, can you call out the specific entry, stop loss, and TP? Okay, I think I had somebody reach out to me saying that sometimes it is not clear when I draw out this. Okay. I don't know, maybe I'm going to mark it out to make it clear. So for Euro USD, this is a swing trade. It might not happen today. If it's going to happen today, it's not going to happen today. Because the trade I want to enter here is not yet, the pattern is not yet clear. But for this one, what I drew, I have this. So the entry is 1.11334. The stop loss is, let me mark it out. Stop loss is this, which is 1.11, which is 1.15115. Then for Great British Pounds, entry is this, 1.32582. Stop loss is above, which is this, 1.32700. Hope this makes it better. Then the other entry that I have here is below, 1.315. 1.31583, and the other one is here. It should be at the bottom here. I'm going to adjust this. 1.31240. So these are the entries. Am I missing anything? He's been trying to sign up to Wix. It's not working. Could you chat up Francis in the group to tell him this? Okay. Sometimes if you are going to Wix, if you're using Wix.com, it's different from Wix. It doesn't go, but if you use Wix Global, it goes. And if you have our referral code, you can just download the app and put the referral code while signing up. It makes things easier. You can get it, just chat up Francis. It's going to reply. Yes, I will analyze the crypto markets. That's what we're doing next. I see you. G Pence Entertainment. Let's go to the crypto markets. BTC and Ethereum. That is what we're analyzing. This trade I'm in actually is going well, but there are multiple entries that we can see. So for crypto, we're going to do the same thing. We'll start from I don't usually go far back as weekly. I start from daily for crypto because the crypto market is younger than the forex market. So this is the entry we had. We are going lower, and my point of target is this particular place. Now, I said that here, I'm not just placing a limit order here. I want to see a confirmation entry. I've explained confirmation entry a lot of the time. Okay, let me draw it again. So this is a confirmation entry here. We have a low, high, low, high, and this confirmation entry. So I want to say confirmation entry here on the lower time frame to enter. This is daily. Okay. If I don't see it, it might be invalidated. Then this is the next point of reversal. So I'm seeing Bitcoin. You can remember when I was saying I'm expecting Bitcoin at 85, 85, 85. Bitcoin broke 85. We traded it down to 85. That trade, I got a 14x. That is, risk reward ratio was 14. That's what I got on this trade down to this particular. I exited at 85, but it went down as low as 74. Right? 70, what is this? 74.56. So now I'm saying we are still going to hit the 85 again. Okay. I might bounce from there. We're already in 80, we're almost in 85. So I'm saying that we're going to hit this 77 region again. And we'll bounce from there. If it is invalidated, then we are looking at moving up from this particular region between 73 and 66. That's where I expect the next bounce from. I'm going to keep this here. So let's go now to the 4-hour time frame. Now, if you look at this, this is a very, this movement has a lot of momentum, a lot of selling momentum to the downside. Now, if you look at what I explained in Euro USD, you can see the same thing applying. Based on the candle movement, you can actually anticipate where it's going to go to. If you look at this, you see that this candle here had a lot of momentum. You can see the momentum down. So you can see that what the sellers achieved, look at it, the selling started from here and ended here. So what the sellers did in 1 day, 8 days, is what the buyers tried to counter in how many days? In 9 days. So what the sellers did in 1 day, the buyers are trying to counter in 9 days, which tells you that the sellers has more momentum, and therefore we should keep going down. So we got here, we did our thing here, and you can see we are still having a strong push to the downside. Okay, so based on the way I trade, which I don't think we might see. I'm going to just remove this. Let me remove this. So based on how I trade, I'm going to remove this as well. Remove this. Because if you're not in this trade, forget it. So you can see that over here, we have a break of structure. Okay? A break of structure here, BOS. We have to wait for this candle to actually close before we confirm that. This particular candle here, I have to wait for it to close before I confirm the break of structure. If it's not closed, then we cannot confirm it. But let's suppose it's closed, okay? Now, above it, I'm going to remove this. So above that, we have this. What do I call this? This is a supply zone. Okay, it's a supply zone. And above this supply zone here, we have a relatively equal high. Okay, I'm just going to remove it because it's relatively equal but not equal. So what this means is that, and we have entered into an efficient region, which means that this thing is going to keep going down. We're going to keep going down. That's what it means till we hit here, because we've entered here. But the question is that, are we going to retrace to grab some liquidity here to go down? That I don't know, but I'm just going to mark it out my possible entry if we do retrace. So the possibilities here is that, one, we retrace to this point. Now we enter here to go down. One possibility. Another possibility is that we have some price action here. Maybe we'll do this, do this, do this. Then we'll not start coming down. Once we break this, then I want to start looking for entries here to go down to this particular region. Or we might just go down. No, we'll not get entry. We'll go down from here, and I'll now look for entry to go up. Just the way, if you look at this particular movement, they didn't give us any entry apart from here. Apart from this entry that he gave us here, you can see just flush down. So there's no entry to enter along here at all. This might give an entry, this might not. If it gives an entry while going down, good, because we are in the efficient zone. If it doesn't, then wait for it to come down here and look for entries to go higher. We have 4 minutes left. So now let's go to 1 hour now. 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour, you can see that this is actually a confirmed break of structure. You can see it. So we are what? We are bearish at this particular point. I'm going to just go skip down to 15 minutes time frame. Then we end this. Possibilities is this. If we have this is swing point, okay. If the market breaks above this, then I want to look for entries to go and trade into the zone, then trade lower to this zone. All right. Hope that makes sense. If it breaks here, we want to do this. But if it does this, let me shift this to the side. But if it does this, let's say we'll come higher to this zone and we'll break lower, And I want to look for entries to go lower. I want to look for entries here. Okay, because if you look at this, what we have here, this is a supply zone here. Now I could do this, take a short position from here, maybe target this high, and maybe go lower. I could do this. This is a possible trade, but because there is no confirmation, I don't have any structural confirmation. Therefore, I will not take this trade. This trade might go. I just do this, but I will not take it because I don't have a structural confirmation. So I need it to go high, then break below this zone we have here before I start looking for trades. So as it stands now, there's no trade for me on BTC till I see a structural confirmation. Let us quickly go through Ethereum, then we end this, okay? Because it's almost time to end this. It's 7:28. I'm meant to end this. Meant to have this in 1 hour. So Ethereum, we're gonna go to the daily time frame again. I'll walk ourselves down. Walk ourselves down. I'm gonna remove this what we have here. So Ethereum, you can see I said we're coming down to 2,200. We're coming down here. We have liquidity here, and we're coming down. Okay. Although I expected us to go higher, to tap into this zone or tap into this zone before going lower. But you can see we're not doing that, we're just coming lower. So that said, we're gonna go down to the 4-hour time frame. The same thing with Bitcoin. We have entered into an efficient zone. So I'm gonna do the same, I'm gonna mark it out the same way. So I'm gonna remove this one and remove this one for now. Okay, let me leave this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it out the same way. That is, mark out this particular zone. I could mark it, but let me start my marking from here. And you can see that we have this. This is not a high. I won't consider it a high. Okay, let me just leave it as a high. So we have this breakout structure here. So therefore, BOS, therefore, and we are in an efficient zone. So therefore, possible movement is this. So 1 hour time frame, go higher, is basically the same thing that was talked about in Bitcoin that is likely to play out here. So 1 hour, from 1 hour, I'm just going straight to the 15 minutes. So 15 minutes is the same thing, right? So let me move this higher here. So 15 minutes is the same thing. This is swing high, okay? This is, I'll call it a swing low. So if we have this happen, if we break above this, then you want to go high to this point. You enter your trade here. If we don't do this, but do this, then you want to enter here to go lower. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a few questions. If there are any questions in the comment section, and we do that. So yeah, I take risk reward ratio very well. I don't trade if it's not less than, if I trade with, my risk reward ratio must be at least 3. I don't do 2, I don't do 1. So that even if I lose half of my trade, I'm still in profit. I don't really know why you mean you can't sign up during weekends. I can't sign up on weekends, sir. I don't quite understand that. Just again, just reach out to Francis to have this sorted out. Francis is in the Telegram. It's in Telegram group. And I want to make a statement here before we close. Please never go to Telegram and search for Jude Umano or search for Afibi. There are lots of scam group. The reason why we disabled comments and we disabled the chat group is because of people are getting scammed by people impersonating me. That's why we removed that. And there are still a lot of them on Telegram. It's basically work for me to start doing that. And again, this challenge, we are putting people in a group after we vet you and all that. But we don't know all of you. So don't let somebody chat you up from even within the group we created now and start telling you about investments, put money here, give me a money to trade for you. Please don't do that. Okay, I said something about copy trading. Where is it? Yeah, so I'm building that platform right now. It's something I don't see it on any exchange, okay, because I take risk management very, very seriously. I take position sizing very seriously. That is why I created the app that does that. So I'm creating a platform now. Um, we are in the forming stage. Once we create it, you can just connect. You don't need to start taking signals because it's just correct directly copy in your account. It's something we are building. Every risk management stuff is already embedded in it. So look forward to that. But that is happening next year. First quarter, we should have it out for testing within the community. So make sure you are in the community. Yes, the challenge is going to start today. Today, I'm going to have a class in Telegram within the group to show you guys how it's going to go, how you're going to do your risk management, how you're going to do your compounding and all that. It will be talked about in Telegram today, tonight. Go to the group and stay to get information on the time we're holding that class tonight. So the first signal is going to start tomorrow. When do you get your first signal for the challenge? Is tomorrow. But today we have like a class, a more like onboarding, explaining how do you do that with based on the amount you have. Are you going to hit the 10K or above it or below it? $50 is minimum. Okay. Yes. The main group and the signal group will no the challenge is running on the the challenge group. Okay. The signal group we have already, our activities might go down a little there because we are putting all the effort in the main group. Don't worry, I'll get Francis to reply to everybody today. All right. So bye everyone. See you guys. For those on Discord, I'll see you tomorrow. And for those in our main group, again, I'll see you today in the evening for the class. Bye.